Hey, Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praise, glory, and honor to the Heavenly Father Yahweh in the name of His Son, which is Yahweh Shai. It's a quick lesson. 1 Corinthians, the ninth chapter. Um, and pretty much the topic is, be strive to be well-rounded. You know, and of course, you got to start somewhere. Knowing where you're strong or you excel at is a great place to start. Now, if you were to sit down and make a list of your strengths and your weaknesses, and you're only able to do one, either you're only able to fill out your strengths because you're not sure what your weaknesses are, or you're able to fill out your weaknesses and you're not sure what your strengths are. Well, the opposite of whatever you put down on either side should reveal something. You should be able to analyze that. Maybe it'll take a day or two, maybe it'll come quickly, but you'll be able to understand. And it's from that understanding that you will begin to understand what it means to become all things to all men. Now, one thing that Jake understands in common from times of old until now is money. It's one thing Jake's always been intrigued with is with money, and they know how to go get it and how to go make it. Even the disciples, they were fishermen, they were lawyers, they were tax collectors. Okay, they understood money, the concept of money. So if you can understand money and how it grows and the things you can do with it, well, then you should be able to understand the concept of character and how you need to hone your character and get better with that. Okay, that you could grow by that. So really quick, 1 Corinthians the ninth chapter, verse 20, it says, "And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law." So Paul, coming from the sect of the Pharisees, he understood, the customs and the culture, and so he was able to mesh with them. Okay. Now, verse 21, "To them that are without the law, as without the law, not being without law to the Most High, but under the law to Yahweh Shai, that I might gain them that are without the law." So he's talking about the Gentiles. So he understood one side of the spectrum. Okay, so that the opposite. So he should be able to understand the opposite side of the spectrum. He understands how people were raised in the culture and in the customs and in the mannerisms of being, in the culture. So all of that reversed, well, it's easier for him to understand, Jake that was raised up without being in the culture, without, the habits and the mindset. Okay? So it's not too far-fetched of an idea, and we find ourselves doing things like this all the time, but it's not pointed out to us. That it's like, hey, you're actually adapting to a situation whether you know it or not. There's a word in this world, to pander. So it's like if you see a certain type of people like Jake, if they have to work a phone job, they kind of put on another voice sometimes because they want to pander to to whoever's on the other end. But then if it's someone, and you can kind of tell by their voice that they're for a lack of a better word, I'll say I'll say ghetto, right? Then you might pander to them too. Say, "Hey, what's up, man?" Just right. You might pander. Okay? So that's kind of the same concept. Verse 22, "To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some." So even to those that were weak in faith or in the spirit, Paul let them know. He could relate with that. Hey, I know what it's like to be, in this in that state, because he was there. He was there himself. He had his moments. we're all men. That's why it says, I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you. Okay, so I'm gonna jump down to verse 25 because I gotta wrap this up. It says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. Okay, so striving for the master, you'll be temperate in all things. So if you're able to understand the concept of money, right? You go to work, or you got your little side hustle, your own little business or whatever you're doing. You're trying to grow and and expand. Well, you got to do that in this truth. You need to do that and apply that in your life. You understand budgeting. You understand order. You understand the order of operations. Oh, this is first, and then that, and then that. You so if I mean these concepts, these disciplines are there. It's just you have to apply them throughout your full spectrum of life. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna apply it here, but I'm not gonna apply it there." That doesn't work. But I have to cut this short. I got to get back. So until next time, shalom.